Jennifer Tilly is looking down on ace-9 offsuit.
Tony, why are you on my left?
Just thought we'd play one nice pot together.
This is pure ego warfare. Tony G has ace-king and does exactly what you expect from him. He bumps it up to 4,000. Jennifer Tilly does something that really defines the rest of the hand. She does not just call and play a small pot. She reaches for chips and re-raises to 12,000. That re-raise is her planting a flag.
Wow.
From Tony's point of view, ace-king is way too strong to fold, and a 5-bet shove is probably overplaying it against a range that still has monsters.
Is it that good? 12.
So he takes the middling line and just calls, keeping all of Tilly's bluffs and dominated aces in. The flop comes paired, kind of dry, and very awkward for both of them. Tilly, after 4 betting pre-flop, checks. That check is sneaky. With ace-9, she has completely missed. But as the pre-flop aggressor, she could very easily fire and tell a story of queens, kings, or aces. Tony quietly improves to top pair top kicker, while Tilly is now done for. But the real story is what the king does to perceived ranges. From Tilly's point of view, that king is supposed to be a scare card for Tony as well as for her, and bets 12,000. Tony just calls. He does not raise, because when he raises here, he isolates himself against very strong hands and folds out all her air. The river brings the ace, and it is absolutely brutal for Tilly. Tony quietly upgrades from top pair top kicker to top 2 pair. Tilly also improves, but in the most dangerous way possible.
You want me to take the ace back?
What?
You want to take it back? I'll take it back. No, really, take it back.
I don't think you could take the ace back.
Then I'll take it back, I promise. If the ace wins, you win the pot.
What do you mean?
So I'm worried like the ace upset you, so I'm happy to take it off the table.
No, the 25K upset me.
Okay, all right, let's leave it on there then. I might need it.
Oh my God. I don't even know why I raised you in the first place.
I'm gonna make it 20?
Yeah, make it 20.
All right, make it 20.
What a nice guy.
Okay, cool.
Makes the call.
Ace king, I mean, I wouldn't lie.
Daniel Negreanu is looking down at 10-6 suited. Pre-flop begins with Negreanu putting on a straddle, inviting action in a pot that is already twice the normal size. Tony G, holding 8-6 of spades, decides to attack the straddle. He raises to 2,200. This is a classic Tony G play. He is using position and aggression with a speculative hand to try and take down the dead money.
The G deserves some action.
Calls 1,400.
Yeah, after paying off.
Yeah, you deserve a little bit back. That's how we play. You give, take a little, give a little.
The flop falls, a board that heavily favors Tony G. Tony has flopped bottom pair with his 8, but more importantly, he has a backdoor straight draw. Tony G fires a continuation bet of 3,000. This is where Negreanu decides to get creative. He holds absolutely nothing but 10 high, yet he makes the call. This is a pure float.
Deserve a lot of action.
The turn is the 8, a card that drastically alters the reality of the hand, but neither player truly understands by how much. Tony G hits gin, improving his hand to trip 8s. Negreanu, still holding air, checks. Tony G, now sitting on a monster, bets 7,000 for value. This is the moment Negreanu has been setting up. He executes a massive check raise to 21,000. Negreanu is representing the ace that he thinks Tony doesn't have, or perhaps a slow-played set. It is a brilliant, polarized bluff. However,
Nice fake side from Tony. Calls.
All right. Oh, wait, no. I got to see a river card first. Hang on.
Daniel knows it's over.
Hang on.
Negreanu, realizing his story was not believed and that his 10 high has 0 showdown value, gives up and checks.
Do I look like a man with a hand?
Tony bets 15K.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I could have had nothing too.
Yeah, but I think your nothing beats my nothing. Fold. I was bluffing, Tony. I had a straight draw.
I'm glad. You did have a straight draw? That's pretty dangerous.
No, it wasn't that one. I needed a 9.
Me too. I mean, I could have had a straight draw too.
6.
Tony G shows a 6 and scoops it.
6 with an 8.
Then you might have made it, though.
6-5.
5-6. That makes
I'm
it.
just getting desperate.
Can't believe I got rivered again. Sick.
Tony G is looking down on 10-9 offsuit.
Here we go, Phil. Did you raise it?
Pre-flop is Tony G doing exactly what Tony loves to do, take a hand that plays huge on connected boards and drag Helmuth into a pot.
Back to the same tricks.
I'm not gonna let you two just enjoy
Back to the
pan.
same old, same old.
I feel like I'm stuck in the middle of a triangle.
Stuck in the middle.
Helmuth opens King Jack, a very Helmuth hand, strong enough to raise, not quite strong enough to want a giant pre-flop war. Tony flats with 10-9 suited, the classic, let's see a flop and torture you later. The flop comes 8, Queen Jack, and it is a total car crash in slow motion. For Tony G, it is perfect. 10-9 gives him the nut straight immediately.
We're gonna draw. Draw your gun.
I got a big draw, Tony. What do you want me to do?
The turn brings the 5 of diamonds, which looks like a total brick. Nothing about this card should scare off a player who was happy on the flop. Tony now leans on the situation. The sizing tells the full story. Into a pot that was already inflated. This is not a little probe, it is a serious ask. With the nuts, Tony wants value from exactly what Helmuth has, strong 1-pair hands and pair plus draws that hate folding versus him. Helmuth thinks it through and calls again.
Where's the big draw now? Oh, where's the big draw? I think I'm gonna check to you or what?
Well, I thought maybe you would, yeah.
Yeah.
Helmuth is now facing the most brutal question. Do you really think I am the kind of guy who triple barrels this size with nothing on this board after you called twice? Or, if Tony ever gives up his bluffs on earlier streets, which he often does when met with resistance, then this river bet becomes heavily weighted toward value. Helmuth tanks and convinces himself that against Tony G specifically, people just do not always have it.
All right, I call.
He makes the call.
There you go. Welcome to the game.
Ouch.
Just flops the nuts just off the bat.
Welcome to the game. You've been doing a lot of talking. Now show me your bullets. Show me what you brought to the game. Where's your money? Don't tell me you're gonna play with that crap. You're not gonna embarrass yourself here, are you? Yet again. Phil, produce.
Tony G is looking down on King 4 suited. Pre-flop this pot starts out as a fairly standard multi-way situation that quietly plants the seeds for a brutal cooler. Harlow opens with Ace-9, Antonio peels in position with King-Jack, and Tony G overcalls with King 4 suited. From Tony's side, this is loose but very on-brand. He is in there to play pots, especially deep stacked and in position on an amateur opener. Behind them, the blinds come along, and you get exactly the kind of bloated, almost family pot where dominated kings and weird suited holdings collide.
Here he comes. You've been quiet, Phil. Preserving your lead.
Not really, I check.
The flop texture massively favors the kind of speculative, wide calling range Tony brought to the pot. He flops top and bottom 2-pair, while Antonio hits what looks like a very strong top pair with King-Jack. After Helmuth and Harlow check, Antonio's continuation bet for 4,200 into the field is completely logical. He charges draws, gets value from worse kings and tens, and represents the strong pre-flop range he had by flatting the raise in position. Tony's raise to 15,000 is the key inflection point. With 2-pair on a coordinated board, he wants to punish exactly hands like Antonio's, forcing them to pay a premium to continue. The raise size is big enough to thin the field and make life uncomfortable for single-pair hands, but not so huge that it blows them off. Helmuth and Harlow correctly get out of the way. Antonio, holding top pair with a strong kicker and some backdoor straight equity, is never folding to a single raise and makes the call, likely putting Tony on King 10, a bluff, or some kind of combo draw.
What do you have left?
Antonio checks.
You want exact count?
No, it's fine.
And Tony's decision to check back is deceptively strong. With 2-pair on a now even scarier board, betting again would inflate the pot against a range that has improved to many strong 1-pair plus draw hands. The river ends the hand in one swing. It gives Tony a full house, kings full of 4s, and upgrades Antonio from a strong but beatable top pair to trip kings with a big kicker. After checking twice, Antonio now leads 20,000. This is a classic value bet sizing, targeting exactly the kind of hands he thinks Tony might have slow played, Queen 10 or maybe a stubborn King 9 that check turn for pot control. Tony's response is a cold-blooded shove, an enormous raise over the river stab that polarizes his range to absolute monsters or air. In theory, that sizing should make Antonio very suspicious. There are not that many natural bluffs that take this line, and the full house region is heavily concentrated in Tony's loose pre-flop range. But in practice, when you have trip kings with a strong kicker, have seen your opponent check back a dangerous turn, and the pot is already large, folding feels almost impossible.
What the hell did you check the turn with, Tony? All right, call.
Antonio calls all in and sees the bad news.
I see.
Tony wins a pot of 150 grand.
Chips.
Tony G is looking down at ace-king suited.
Russian friend to play for Russia, so I was tilted. I send you back to Russia. It's like it's not even from there.
Exact amount he bet to get the exact
It's a
amount.
Belarusian Jew.
All you want to do is break even. You're not greedy.
I'm not a greedy man.
You're not greedy at all.
Tony G with ace-king again. Must be the 5th time here tonight.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, it wasn't personal at all. It was just
No.
an attack on all of Russia in general.
Yeah.
Tony G initiates the action from under the gun with a raise to 4,000 with his premium opening hand that demands respect. But Rampage, sitting in the cutoff with ace-queen offsuit, is not interested in playing a small pot. Sensing an opportunity to isolate the veteran and leverage his aggressive image, Rampage executes a 3-bet to 15,000. This is a high-pressure maneuver. Rampage is effectively telling Tony G that his opening range is too wide. Both players have flop-top pair. Rampage fires a small continuation bet of 8,000, a standard sizing designed to extract value from draws or smaller pairs. This is where Tony G decided to spring the trap early. He executes a powerful check raise to 30,000. By doing this, Tony G is attempting to define the hand immediately and represent a monster like a set of 5s or 8s. The turn brings the 2, a card that significantly increases the psychological tension. Tony G, having seized the initiative on the flop, stays relentless and fires a second barrel of 50,000. He is telling a story of absolute dominance, daring Rampage to believe that his ace-queen is still the best hand. The river is the 8, pairing the board. This card is deceptive, but mostly it just reinforces the strength of an ace.
Ace-queen?
It's a good hand.
Bro, what are you doing for Rampage?
I just love to play against the pros.
His reputation as being a good poker player.
It's a very fragile rep.
I qualified.
He's losing to Lithuanian
Ace-queen and he put me on a flush draw. I mean, right? You put me on a flush draw, it's normal.
Lithuanian.
Sometimes, you know what they say, Rampage? You know what they say, no longer fun when the bunny's got the gun, right? We're playing with bunnies. But enjoy, I might dish it off soon.
Tony G is holding 5-4 offsuit. Pre-flop, Tony G opens to 1,000, Helmuth bumps it to 2,000. That re-raise looks small, almost like a keep-it-friendly sizing, but it is actually very revealing. With a hand that plays great post-flop and dominates Tony's usual junk, Helmuth chooses control over punishment. He does not go big and try to blow Tony out, he invites him in.
Things can get nasty at the end, right? The river was wild.
Confident that if they see a flop, he will outplay him. Tony checks, which is standard with his marginal pair and draw potential. But Helmuth checks back as well. That check from a 3-better on this texture is all about pot control and deception. In Helmuth's head, his hand is good often enough that he wants to see turns and rivers without inflating variance. From Tony's perspective, this is the perfect moment to take the lead. He bets 4,000. It looks like a probe from a weak 9 or a semi-bluff, but underneath it is pure value, designed to keep Helmuth's entire range in.
Call.
That's 10 grand. Phil calls, sees the bad news.
He has a full house.
You didn't raise?
At least maybe we'll get the blow up we're all waiting for.
I know you got a flush.
The 9, this guy's raising.
He's got a 9. You drew it.
Explosion's about to happen.
Bring the trike.
Bottom pair against top pair, where he's going to pay me off another 7,000-8,000, but no, he fills up and wins 14 for me.
You're a disgrace to the game.
Where do you come up with that?
I'll tell you, can I tell you one thing, Tony? Can I tell you one thing? I wish that I weren't a bad loser sometimes, but it's 10 times as bad to be a bad winner. And you're a bad winner, my friend.
Tony G is looking down at Queen 10 offsuit. Pre-flop initiates a battle between the loudmouth professional, Tony G, and the loose cannon Hrankowski, an amateur given a stack of cash to play with the big boys. Hrankowski wakes up with a premium holding, ace-queen offsuit. He puts in a standard raise to 2,000, looking to assert dominance early. Tony G, sitting with Queen 10 offsuit, decides to defend.
Just to see if I can get it all in as well when you have quads.
Tony is in a perilous position.
I'll make it a big pot though.
The flop is an absolute powder keg. It is the kind of texture that hits everyone. Hrankowski has flopped top pair, top kicker with a gut shot straight draw to the nuts. A fantastic hand. However, Tony G has flopped top and bottom 2 pair. Standard poker theory dictates that Tony should check to the pre-flop raiser. Tony G, however, has never cared much for standard theory. He leads out with a donk bet for 5,000. By betting into the aggressor, he seizes control of the narrative immediately. The turn brings the 2. Tony G keeps his foot on the gas. He fires a second barrel of 10,000.
Wow. I like your hand. You want to swap hands?
He is extracting value, knowing that an amateur with top pair is rarely folding. For Tony G, this is the perfect card. He improves to a full house, 10s full of queens. For Hrankowski, it is a deceptive card.
I hope you don't have quads. I guess you don't. There's no straight flush out there.
Tony G decides to go for a massive value bet. He fires 35,000 into the pot.
There goes all the profit.
The loose cannon has to decide if Tony G is capable of firing 3 streets as a bluff, or if he is value owning himself with a worse queen. Hrankowski goes into the tank. He looks at the board. Straights are possible, king 9, trip 10s are possible, and full houses are possible. He realizes that Tony's lying leading into the razor and betting big on 3 streets screams immense strength.
You have a good chance of winning the hand if you call.
He was begging at that point. That was begging. I wasn't sure. And then he begged at the river.
So Ken folds. Let's see if he made the right decision. Tony G with Queen 10 full boat.
Made a good lay down there, Ken.
I had a full house.
Yeah, you begged at the river. When he was about to fold, Tony, wait.
Did you flop it straight?
Bet too much.
No, he had ice queen.